Hello everyone, it is a beautiful Saturday morning and we are doing art today. So we're going to do like the speckles or compound, it kind of looks like plaster art sort of stuff. So we just got back from Home Depot. I'll show you like all the stuff that we got, but I need to change because I'm not going to wear this and paint because it's going to get ruined. But I wanted to show you my outfit because I'm super proud of it. The girl at Home Depot. Well, here, let me put you guys over here. Complimented my outfit. Honestly, it just like, you know, when you get your outfit complimented, it like literally makes you like so happy. Hi guys. Hi honey. Okay. I don't know how well you can see this, but I got like this super cute black jean jacket, this crop sort of like sports tank from Amazon. These are some jeans that I have from Express, and then these super cute sock booty booties from Steve Madden. And then I got I got this new necklace, like this snake chain necklace sort of thing that came in, so it should be fun. But yes, let's get this started. So I just changed into like some old clothing, but I wanted to show you the stuff we got. Okay, we're finally back and here is the situation. It is a little messy in my apartment, but I got all the stuff set up. So I'm gonna go over everything and show you like exactly what we bought and then what we already had, and then kind of like what the process is gonna be like. So we got this stuff, it's called Joint Compound from, again, all this stuff's from Home Depot, just like a disposable one of these. We got a whole bunch of like paint colors. We got a black, we got a white, like a cream color, and then like a brownish color, all sort of like cool, like warm tones. And then we got these like speckle brushes and some just like, I don't even know what to call them. They're just not very like, they're not like perfect brushes, but they're just kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. They just won't make perfect strokes, which is kind of like what I'm looking for. I don't want anything to be like too perfect or defined. But I'll link all the colors like below of what those are. We got this 2x4 piece of plywood. The other pieces of board that we got, what length? Do you know what they are?
8 foot, but they're like they're probably like a 1/2 inch by 1.
And then we got these. So Jake thinks they're like 3/4 by 1.5, but just got something a similar size. That's gonna be the frame. Other things that we like picked up is I got like this. His dad had this, so I liked the sort of design that I could make with this and some paint, dragging it over after like it was all dried. I already told you about these, the brushes, this stuff, the paint. We ended up grabbing these two so I could do the different colors. And then I got this. I thought I could maybe cut it and then splot it like that, and that could make some like cool texture. And then a hammer for the border, which Jake is working on. And then some like sandpaper to rough it up, finishing nails, again for the border. And then this is like our little setup. So we have like drop cloth. You could do like newspaper or whatever. And then we fortunately had these, but again, these aren't necessary. You could just lay it like on a table that's covered, or on the ground or outside. There's a lot of stuff you could do. It's just a little chilly out, so we thought this was the best setup. Here's my setup.
Come here. Say hello to the people. Say hello, people. Hello. How are you?
She's terrified. With like a little tiny bit of water, I'm just gonna try to like get up like the stuff that I sanded off a little bit. I don't think it needs to be perfect, but I think just a little bit would be good. Yeah. I think that's really good. Opening joint compound is no joke. I've been messing with it. It doesn't want to go. I had to cut it open before. Oh, Jake, come home fast. Pro tip, literally just cut around this, especially if you're not strong like I am. Time to start speckling. I'm not a pro, but supposedly you take the joint compound and you literally just start, like, give it like a rough coat. And then once this dries, you go back and like start adding color and stuff like that. I'm basically finished with like the base coat. I try to make it sort of as textured as possible, and I'll probably go back on a few places. It is so simple though. There's like literally no rhyme or reason to it. You just kind of like make it like as textured as you want. The only thing I'm gonna say is if you're gonna put on the border after, like the frame after, make sure you like clean up the edges as much as possible, because that'll make it easier. If not, you'll have to like sand it down until it's like completely flat. And then also go through each of the corners, making sure that everything, you can't like see any wood, like that's a bit sheer right there. I'll probably have to go back and cover it up. So yeah, just making sure you go back through all of that stuff, making sure it's all clear and stuff. But yeah, looks pretty good so far. I ended up just like letting it dry overnight because I touched it last night and put a fingerprint in it. But I think it's like pretty much dried, so I'm gonna start mixing up some different colors and hopefully not ruin it. So it's about a day and a half after my last clip, and this is what it looks like. It's basically back to the way it was, because when I started putting the color on, and you'll kind of like notice this from the last clips, is everything was super warm toned, and the way like the plaster or whatever it is like dried, it dried very cool toned, so it just like looked so off. I thought it looked terrible, and I got really mad. I put like some black on it to try and make it better. Looked worse. So my tip to you would be to go with cool tones from the beginning, but I looked up a few more videos and I have like a plan B. I went last night and kind of like wiped up the black as much as I could, put a new coat of the like the speckle, I forget what it's called, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Put that on it, texturize it, let it dry. So it's the following night. I went to Target and I actually got like these really cute like acrylic paint colors. So I got like this sort of like cool tone metallic one, and then this it's called Satin Malted Milk, so just like a very light cool tone cream color, and I think these are gonna work like so much better. I also picked up a brush. Sorry that the camera is shaking so much, I'm just holding it, but I just kind of picked up a brush, and I think I'm gonna do brush strokes instead of mixing it in with the plastery stuff. To make it a little bit thinner consistency. I think it's going to work a lot better for me. And then I'm going to take the black and sort of speckle it on there. So that is the plan. Hopefully it works this time. If it doesn't, then I failed. But I am confident because I spent like $65, probably $70 with this stuff on this painting. It is going to work. So I'm super annoyed. I had this filming and it captured nothing. So, well, about an hour later, this is what I have so far. So basically, I took the two Target colors. I started with the beige color, and I took just very, very lightly on the paintbrush, and I just kind of whipped it around, just kind of like put a few strokes everywhere. Then I took back with the metallic, and that's when it started to pop. The metallic really captures the ridges, And I took a very, very dry, again, not very saturated brush, and went with some of the brush strokes of the beige color, but then I went against some of them and it created a lot of dimension. And then I took a very, very, like, almost like a dry brush, with just like the leftover metallic, and I went over some of like these areas, and it just picked up some of that texture a lot more. And finally I went back with the black to add some, I guess, dimension and interest. So we have like the little black X's. I also flicked paint everywhere with the paintbrush. I added some brush strokes, dots, like some of these things, and then I went back with a very light hand and outlined some of these metallic strokes that I had made earlier. So Jake thinks I need more. I kind of want to stop, but I'm not sure. So it's been 2 weeks since I finished the art piece. It certainly does not have to take this long, just like life got in the way. And this is what happened, but I have no idea how Jake made the frame, so I'm going to have him explain it to you. So either you can do it.
You just cut the wood.
Or hopefully you have a husband or boyfriend who could do it for you. Because I couldn't have figured it out. But one thing that we did do that was really interesting that he suggested is that instead of making the corners diagonal, or like, I don't even know how to describe it, like...
On a 45 degree angle.
Yeah, okay, that's a good way to describe it. At a 45 degree angle, we made it just sort of like more modern, so it hangs off the edge. I'll show you in a second. So what do you use to split the wood? Wait, what wood did we get actually?
We got a 1x2, I think. I forget. But then we ripped it down with the table saw.
Okay, so that's what it's called.
So whatever length you wanted to.
Yeah, so we just ripped it down. I just said I wanted a little bit of an overhang, not much. And to be honest, it ended up warping because I put on so much like liquid, because I did it twice because I screwed up the first time, that it's not gonna look perfect, but that's totally fine. I mean, I did it at home for super cheap. And then...
But then we cut the borders, because we didn't want the 45, so we wanted the borders to kind of look like...
a little more modern. We thought this looked a little more modern.
And they'll kind of like do that all the way around.
Right, yeah. So that's kind of like the process. So we're nailing first.
Well, you gotta drill a hole, so you gotta split the wood.
Okay. See, this is why Jake's explaining this, because I would have not understood any of this.
So if you just try to nail into it, you might split the wood. So you get a drill bit that's a little bit smaller than your nail. You put a bead of glue along it, and then you drill it, and we're just going to tack it on each side.
Okay.
And then try to mess with the middle, because it's a little...
It's okay if it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the process. So thank you, Jake, for explaining that for me.
I'm going to try. I'm not 100% confident.
We'll check it in a little bit and see what happened. See if it split in half. Of glue, we're just putting at the very, very bottom and just very, very tiny. So good so far. So what we did is after we put the glue on, we tacked down each of the insides to make sure it was level, and then went through and did 3 more throughout on each side. I think it's finished. So he actually went up and put 1,000 nails into it because he was just nervous that because the nails are so tiny that it was going to come loose. Basically, I just went through with like a paper towel and the paint, just dabbed into the paint and just kind of brushed it on over the areas where he was hitting with the hammer and the nail. And it didn't cover him completely, but it's honestly not a big deal if you're never gonna see him. So next step is to put on the wall. A few months ago, I created this beautiful art piece, and I never really got to finish it because it never went on the wall, and we decided soon after that we were going to move, so I never really basically got to finish the video. You'll see it up on my new wall. It was made in my old apartment back in Ohio, and now we're in Houston.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes.
I really hope you enjoyed watching my little art project that I did. It was a lot of fun. My only thing is that when I created it more thinking about the size of my old walls and not necessarily the size of my new walls. We have really high ceilings here. So as you kind of saw in that video, even though it's a huge art piece, it doesn't really fit the space anymore. So either we're gonna move it, new art's gonna go there, it might go above our bed, we don't know. But it's definitely something I'll keep and cherish forever because I worked really hard on it, and I would definitely recommend it if you're super bored because it was a great time filler. Subscribe if you haven't, and definitely catch my next video. See ya.